Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brandon Buckner, and this is College Sports Talk Live. Now, for all of you that are wondering, what happened to Sports Talk Live, the show you've been doing for 3 years? Well, I'm still Brandon Buckner. I'm still the host of this show, but I'm taking this show into a new direction this semester, and for the foreseeable future, this will now be called College Sports Talk Live. And why we call it Sports Talk Live? For a reason, because we know for a fact that, with COVID going on, that college sports teams are doing things differently, and you all need to be prepped and prepared for what the college sports world is like. I mean, for the past 3 years, I've been giving you professional sports. I've been giving you topics about, the Wizards, the Washington football team. I've been giving you topics about professional sports. Now, I'm going to give you college sports. I'm going to let you in on a couple of things about what college is doing for the foreseeable future. Let's start with the NCAA Division I Council. So they met Wednesday for an action-filled meeting. Here's everything you need to know about decisions that impact fall, winter, and spring sports. So, number one, the start of the men's and women's basketball season will be November 25th, 2020, with practice scheduled to start October 14th. The first games of the season were originally scheduled to start November 10th, 2020. So, here are the logistics. There won't be any scrimmages or exhibitions this season. The maximum number of games has been decreased by 4, so teams can play up to 27 regular season games if they play in a multi-team event. Teams must play at least 13 games to be eligible for the NCAA tournament, all of which must come against a Division I opponent. The Division I men's basketball and women's basketball committees recommended teams play at least 4 non-conference games. So why am I talking about this? So the NCAA Division I Council passed legislation that will allow all student athletes to have a mandatory off day without practice or competition on Election Day. In the future, it will be the first Tuesday after November the 1st. It was the first piece of legislative proposal from the Division I Student Athlete Advisory Committee since a restructuring in 2014 allowed student athletes to have a vote at every level. I feel like this is something that we need to keep a close eye on as Election Day approaches, because college students and what people are doing to cast their ballots for the next presidency, polls will be crowded, so you might want to mail your ballots in. Sports fans might want to do that, because the voting it could be a little crowded this year for to see who's the next president. So that's why NCAA Division, for college students who can vote, they're doing this the Tuesday after November the 1st, after the election, and we find out who our next president will be in January, or we find out who our next president will be after election night. So, yeah. Number 2. The NCAA Division I Council approved proposals to move fall championships to the spring, and they'll need to be approved by the DI Board of Governors. In team sports, brackets will be filled at 75% of their usual capacities. The Division I Council adopted a playing and practice model for schools that plan to participate in football in the spring, and members also approved a framework for the FCS Championship. The championship will start April 18th and end May 15th with a field of 16 teams. Fall competition will be considered for determining the 16 teams in the spring championship. Schools can have up to 8 games over the course of 13 weeks, with the last game being played no later than April 17th. On-field practice can start September 21st, and schools can practice up to 12 hours per week through December 31st. During the 2 weeks before the start of the preseason, teams can hold non-contact practice for up to 20 hours per week. The Division I Council extended the recruiting dead period through January 1st of 2021, which precludes all in-person recruiting. Phone calls and correspondence can still continue, though. So why am I giving you this information? Well, if you're a college sports fan and you follow college sports games, you need to know these things, because if you're planning on going to the games, right now college isn't having fans come to the game. The fans can stream Zoom and they can cheer through Zoom. I noticed even in college sports, even in the NFL, fans can cheer for their team virtually. You don't have to even come to the games to cheer for your team. You can cheer for them virtually, and I think that's a good thing because you would like to cheer for your teams virtually. I would say you would like to have that time where you can cheer for them virtually. You would like to have that peace of mind where, okay, I want to cheer for my team virtually. I want to cheer for this team virtually. No. If you do come to the games, you have to keep your distance, 6 feet apart, and you have to always wear your masks to every game, college game that you go to, if you're eligible to come to the games. So moving on. So proposal caps brackets at 75% of the D3 Winter Spring Championships. The Division III Championship Committee on Tuesday recommended that Winter and Spring 2021 National Championship brackets and field sizes not exceed 75% of their standard capacity. A caveat to this proposal is if a sport's maximum number of allocated automatic qualifiers surpasses the 75% threshold. The championship could then expand the field to accommodate each automatic berth. The recommendation will make its way to the Division III governance structure, including getting feedback from winter and spring sports committees, before the management and president's councils make a final decision in October. So committee members also voted to reduce the winter sports contest minimums to 50% to reach championships eligibility status in 2021. The resulting minimums for championship eligibility consideration. So, here are the facts. Men's basketball, 9. Women's basketball, 9%. Men's ice hockey, 9%. Women's ice hockey, 9%. That even poses me. I didn't even know they had a women's ice hockey. Wow. Men's swimming and diving, 4%. Women's swimming and diving, 4%. Men's indoor track and field, 2%. Women's indoor track and field, 3%. Wrestling, 3%. So, all these percentages are very low. Now, for the basketball and the hockey, is really high. For the swimming, it's a 4. For the track and field, 2. For the track and field, 3. And for the wrestling, 3. Because this is so much of how they've expanded COVID-19. Everybody continues getting sick. Everybody is just... They're trying to find a different format to play sports with this day and time we're living in. And it's going to get better. But, I mean, as for right now, we just have to, wait this storm out together. And, that's what college sports are doing. And that's what every sports industry is doing in the whole world. The sports are just trying to, take care of the things they need to take care of before they can have a season. Some great news out of college, pro football and college football. So, Pro Football and College Football Hall of Fame defensive back Deion Sanders is taking a significant step in his post-playing career. The two-time Super Bowl champion and multi-sport superstar announced early Monday morning that he has agreed to become the next head football coach at FCS, Jackson State. He says that he's truly blessed to be the 21st head football coach of Jackson State University, Sanders said in a release from the school. He says this amazing HBCU has always enjoyed a high level of commitment academically and athletically. It's my desire to continue his storied tradition and history of JSU and prayerfully bring more national recognition to the athletes, the university, the Sonic Boom of the South, and HBCUs in general. He says that he's truly proud to be a part of the JSU Tiger family. He also says he believes Sanders, 53, are currently the offensive coordinator at Trinity Christian High School in Texas, and will continue in that role until the end of the team's season. He coaches his son, Shador, a 4-star quarterback prospect in the class of 2021. They said that they are thrilled to welcome Deion Sanders to Jackson State University, the city of Jackson in Mississippi, athletic director Ashley Robinson said in a statement. Coach Sanders is student-athlete centered and cares about young men and their well-being beyond the football field. We expect to compete for and win championships at Jackson State, and Coach Sanders will help us achieve those goals. The man known as Primetime announced his career change in the debut episode of his new 21st and Prime podcast. Also on the show are Robinson and Jackson State University President Thomas Hudson. He says, "God called me to Jackson State," Sanders said on the show. When formally introduced as the new Jackson State head coach on Monday, Sanders made a grand entrance as only he can. Sanders has never been a college coach, but it's a logical time for him to give it a shot with his son off to college after this season. Shedeur is currently committed to FAU University. Sanders has been upfront about his aspirations of coaching at the next level. He explained during an appearance on the Dan Patrick Show in January that he will be a college football head coach sooner rather than later. Those remarks came after Sanders reportedly emerged as a candidate in Florida State's coaching search. The Seminoles ultimately hired Mike Norvell from Memphis, but Sanders' reportedly candidacy for the job gave fresh life to the idea that could be a valuable candidate for a college opening. Arkansas at least discussed its opening with Sanders before it ultimately hired Sam Pittman to replace the ousted Chad Morris, sources told CBS's Dennis Dodd. Though a formal interview may not have taken place, there was at least one way interest on Sanders' behalf. Sanders, who played 14 years in the NFL and parts of 9 seasons in the MLB, are the only man to play in both Super Bowl and World Series games. He's an 8-time Pro Bowler and the 1994 NFL Defensive Player of the Year, who was previously a standout at Florida State, where he was a 2-time consistent All-American. The Seminoles have retired Sanders' number 2 jersey. Sanders has spent the majority of his post-playing career working as an NFL television analyst, first for CBS Sports and then for NFL Network. He left NFL Network for Barstool Sports in August, though his contract reportedly includes a clause that allows Sanders to pursue a college coaching job. According to New York Post, he will face a tough task at Jackson State in turning around a program that hasn't posted a winning record since 2013. The school parted with John Hendrick in August after his only full season as its head coach. Hendrick initially took over late in the 2018 season. Overall, he compiled a 6-9 record. Jackson State plays in the SWAC, which announced in August that it plans to play a 6-game conference schedule between late February and late April. Teams will be allowed to schedule one non-conference opponent, and a conference championship game is scheduled for May 1st. I'm going to take a quick break here, people, and when I come back, boy, do I have some news out of Montgomery College that you will want to hear. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll get back to College Sports Talk Live. We'll be back. Welcome back to College Sports Talk Live, sports fans. Now, some news out of Montgomery College. Worldwide, MC Athletics would like to congratulate Montgomery College Television, MCTV's Michael Brown, on his retirement from Montgomery College. At the age of 48, Michael decided to quit his job and enroll at Montgomery College to take classes in radio and TV and pursue his lifelong dream of working in broadcasting. And for the past 20 years, he has been the voice of MC Athletics, first for the Knights, the Griffons, and the Falcons of college sports. And since 2012, he was the voice of the MC Raptors. Michael Brown has been in the broadcast booth for over 110 MC baseball, softball, basketball, soccer, volleyball, and football games, and spent many countless hours on campus and on the road covering MC teams. Michael has also served as an adjunct professor at MC and hosted many other college events, all in addition to his duties as a producer/director at MCTV. Mr. Michael Brown has mentored hundreds of students over the years and has had a tremendous impact on the MC community. Michael Brown, I wish you all the best in your retirement, sir. Here's a clip recapping his historical run as the voice of the Raptors. Let's take a look.
For a company that I didn't really like, and I really see much. Very fair to say that Montgomery College has changed my life dramatically. About 2 years ago, I was working in a job that I didn't really like for a company that I didn't really like, and I really see much